Good morning, Sean here. It's time for your Revelstoke Mayor Report with Mayor Gary Souls. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Awesome.
So, Gary, I got a few questions here for you, but I was curious if there was anything that you wanted to touch base on first, and then we'll get into some tax questions and some municipal questions that are thrilling and exciting, like a Die Hard sequel.
Absolutely. Good news. So Tuesday evening, I received a telephone call from Minister Lisa Baer, who's our Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture. And her call was to inform me that the RMI funds have now been added to the government's base budget and will be ongoing. So we've always been told that maybe next year it might stop or the year after it might stop. The last rendition of this was, we'll give you 3 years. We don't know if it'll continue on. So the phone call last night was saying now it's in the base budget. It's going to carry on. So we received those funds. They go, they're based on collection of the MRDT taxes. And last year we collected a little over 700,000. There is a cap on what comes back to the municipality. So we got 618,000 coming to RMI. That's used for the initiatives and marketing for the community. And so Lisa said that the previous amount of 10.5 million to approximately 13 million has now been bumped up to 14.7 million. So I asked her if the capped amount that we would receive would go to the amount that we collect in the MRDT. And her comment was she couldn't confirm that at this point. So they're working on that. So that's a good news story. Glad to hear that. And that gives a little bit of confirmation for resort communities. So there's 14 communities in the province that receive these funds. It's a bonus knowing that that money's going to carry on.
Right, and for those that may not know what the fund is, like you said, it's for marketing to project out of town to draw people into our community to spend their dollars here on social events and et cetera, heads and beds concept.
Absolutely.
Right.
Awesome thing.
So that's good. So then that's a reoccurring theme, not just going to be shut off in 3 years, which
Correct.
I did hear that may have been an issue, which wouldn't have been good to not have those dollars.
No, you get kind of used to having that here, and it's played such an impact on the community. And so I was just really happy to hear that. And she was ecstatic to tell me.
Well, that's great. That's good news.
Yeah. Chief Boykin has asked me to announce the Cops versus Firefighters hockey game. So that's tonight, Friday, at the Forum. Doors open at 6:30. The puck drops at 7. I get the awesome privilege of dropping the puck. I'm a little concerned because I've got cops on one side, firefighters on the other, and I'm going to be in the middle. Admission is by donation. There will be a 50-50 draw on door prizes, and all the proceeds are going to Muscular Dystrophy Canada and the BC Burn Fund, as well as Trees for Tots here locally.
The business of budgeting and taxing, 5%, 4%, 3%, 5.5%, 4.5%, and around and around and around the tree we go. We had a good discussion last week about a communications director and why. We talked a little bit, not too much, but briefly about the RCMP.
So it would be up to the staff sergeant to decide. Does he want a sergeant? Does he need another member? So that would be on him to decide what's going to best utilize those funds for.
Right, okay.
So it came down to, part of that was, do we want it? Do we not want it? The debate went around the table. Consensus of council was we can't afford it. So it was turned down. So that's in the preliminary budget. That goes out to the community. Community will be able to give feedback. There'll be a meeting March 5th where the community can come and speak to their issues and that sort of thing. And so once we know exactly what the community wants, we'll weigh everything again, and then we'll set the budget as to what we're going to accept and what we're going to pay for.
Now, my guess is, and I'm just assuming this, that the staff sergeant here wouldn't request an RCMP officer if there wasn't a demand, meaning that there was an increase in crime, albeit we don't see it every day because we're living our normal lives. But from what I've gathered, crime it's up. Comparatively, we're still low to a grander scale like Vancouver, Kelowna, even Kamloops. But overall, it seems like we don't see anything. A recommendation for a new one wouldn't come unless there was an increase.
Yeah, we're seeing numbers of files up for the members overall. Each year that the file number grows by 200 to 300 files for all of the members. And that's for the downtown core. I don't know whether that includes the highway stuff, but definitely for the downtown core, a couple hundred a year. That's an increase. So you stretch that out by, let's say we've got 10 members that are working at any given time. So that's an extra 20 files. And what happens if those are serious crime files, sexual assault or major crime, that sort of thing? So it adds up. So yes, they're coming not because they want extra bodies in the community. They feel there's a need. That's why they request these things.
And we are on the hook for not all of it, but a good chunk of it, and the rest comes from the provincial government.
Yeah, it's 70-30. We pay 70, they pay 30, and until we reach that 15,000 people population in our census, then it changes. Then it's 90-10. So up till then.
It's funny, till we reach it in our census, but we're pretty much there now.
Correct.
Without census.
When you look at some of the information that's coming through the TELUS Insights and whatnot, you'll see that the numbers
are pretty high, yeah. Now, one thing that hasn't come up because it just isn't quite there yet, floating in the air. What's that smell, Gary?
Yep, we're all smelling that smell.
Are we getting ready to have a discussion about the sewage lagoon? Is there anything to touch base on early on?
Well, I think, the staff have it in hand. We've talked about the sewer lagoon at length in different variations at different times of the year, and it only seems to come up when there's issues.
Well, yeah.
And so when there's issues, that means that everybody's smelling it, and it's going to be a concern. The staff feel that they've got some good handle on some of the stuff. They've got new information and new products that they use and new bugs that eat the bacteria and that sort of thing. But some of it's up to us, the residents, is to keep the grease and that sort of thing out of the sewer system. So don't be flushing your grease. Don't be flushing things that shouldn't be flushed, because those compound the problem. So we just had the staff kind of go through a program on what they've been doing and how they have to clean things out. And it's a lot of work, and it costs the city a lot of money. So keeping grease out of that will help to maintain our lagoons.
I thought it was a rule that you had to put all your bacon grease in an old pickle jar, wait till it was full, and then throw it away.
Well, that's what we're asking everybody to do, but obviously it's not happening.
Okay. Do you have anything that you wanted to touch base on in terms of taxes or anything pressing?
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about taxes. So the proposed tax increase is 4% overall. There is a tax increase in water and sewer rates for everybody. And I just wanted to actually have some comparisons. So just at what we're looking at here now. So if we have a house that's basically assessed at $250,000, the increase in taxes for the year will be $40. The increases in fees and charges, which are water, sewer, garbage, and not everybody pays that. Some people only pay water and garbage, would be $74 for a total of $114. If we go the other way, where we're looking at $500,000, tax increase proposed would be $80 and the fees $74 for a total of $154. If the assessed value is $750,000, we're looking at tax increase of $121 and fees of $74 for a total of $195. So we need to understand that when we look at taxes or our tax bill, so when we get our tax bill, so I got a tax notice here for a house that's worth about $650,000. So tax bill last year that the city collected for everybody was a little over $4,600. Of that, $2,760 goes to the city for taxes, for municipal taxes, and $960 went for the utility charges or the taxes and fees. The rest goes to BC assessment, school taxes, CSRD, the hospital, the library, and the municipal finance authority. So all those, so it's almost $2,000 of those fees, or 1,000 of those fees anyway, that are going to other things over and above what is collected in taxes.
Okay, so that gives a little bit more of a specific breakdown as to where the dollars actually go.
Yeah. Vicious circle goes around. We're all concerned about taxes. I'm a homeowner. I'm concerned about what my tax bill is going to be. I have a commercial building downtown. I get concerned about what that's going to be. So, we all look at it and say, hey, we all have to contribute. How much can we afford to contribute? So know that, council's going around the table. They have some concerns about it, and they're doing the best that they can to come up with something that's palatable for everyone.
All right. Well, thank you, Gary.
Good enough. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.